What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Picks and Parlays. My name is Nicholas Earl, and obviously, this is not Detroit Lenny next to me here. I've got a special guest here for this week's edition of Net Picks and Chill. We got Terry Edelman at Let's Go Wild Picks on Twitter. You guys have probably seen him on the ESP show with my brother and I. I've been trying to get him on this show for a while. The Wild game was postponed tonight, so we were able to get his attention for tonight. So it was cool. So, but it is 9:00 on Tuesday, so you guys know what time it is. It's time to Net Picks and Chill, where we look over everything hockey, and we have an unfortunate topic we have to go over for this show. Not one I wanted to go over, but before we get into what our topic is, we will have our live NHL updates around the league, look at some scores, and talk a little bit about what's happening tonight. So right now, end of the second period in most of these games, where we have the Golden Knights up 4-0 on the Bruins. I was looking a little towards the over in that game. I'm glad I stayed off the Bruins. I was leaning Bruins this morning. I'm glad I stayed off of that one. We had the Kings and the Lightning tied at 2. In the third with 16 minutes to go. 4-2 Senators. It's a team we're going to talk about a little bit later in the show. Up on the Panthers. Flyers up 5-1 on the Devils. The Penguins are currently up 4-2 on the Canadiens. We have the Red Wings up 1-0 on the Isles. We have the Sabres and Jets tied at 1. And we have the Blues and the Stars tied at 0. This would have been a good night to have Lenny on. My Islanders are taking on his Red Wings. But what is your action for tonight? What are you looking at for how are you doing so far?
I'm on quite a few things, but right now things are looking pretty good. Pittsburgh puck line, they're up 4-2. Vegas money line, they're up 4-0. Also have Kings and Tampa Bay draw to go to overtime, so that's 2-2.
Let's hope that finishes like that. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Boston just scored. That's 4-1 now. But yeah, I got St. Louis team total under and Dallas in regulation. So that game is 0-0. And yeah, things are going okay so far.
Yeah, things are kind of off to an iffy start for me. I do have over 6.5 with Sens and Panthers. That's currently 4-2. But of course, I also added the puck line for the Panthers this morning. That's obviously not going to hit unless we get a miracle like we did when they played Buffalo a couple weeks ago. I'm on the Devils. I got them at plus 130. They went all the way down to plus 110. I'm not going to argue with that play. That was a wrong side loser, but I beat a line movement with that one. I'm also on the Panthers or the Penguins puck line as well as just like Terry is. I'm on the Islanders, hoping they can get a goal. I was leaning under in that game. I should have just gone with the under. I do have later in the night the Rangers, the Maple Leafs, the Canucks, and the Sharks. So I do have the 4 remaining games for that. But now into our topic for today, and unfortunately, it's COVID. It's COVID. There's 2 specific teams we're going to be talking about here, and wondering how they're going to bounce back from this situation a little bit here. And how we can use this information to bet these teams in the future, maybe a little. So first one here is the one that kind of started it all. The Calgary Flames. They, I believe, have 8 players tested positive. I'm typing up. I'm trying to get the information here for all the players who have tested positive here. They had their next 3 games postponed. According to yesterday morning, they had Lindholm, Monogiapani, Richardson, Adam Ruzicka, and Chris Tanev, and Nikita Zadorov. And I believe they had a couple others test positive this morning as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Monahan.
That was the other big one I remember hearing.
Hanifin. And another top player. It's another one of their top players.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this Flames team bounces back, and I think it's going to take a little bit for them. which is kind of unfortunate. I did like this Flames team this year. If you guys saw our future show, I was on them to win the Stanley Cup at 50-1. I didn't bet it personally, but I also, if you see the scroller on the bottom, I have a Flame in a player future. I have Jacob Markstrom to win the Vezina Trophy at 8-1. I just thought that there's pretty nice value on that line there with Jacob Markstrom.
I could see them keeping things low scoring, so that actually might help you. I think when they come back from COVID, I think they're really going to focus on defense. Yeah, so that's what you definitely want to look towards under. But yeah, I think they're going to really focus on, because their coach too, Sutter. He's a very defensive-minded coach. So I don't think the COVID necessarily hurts here.
No, I think it'll. Yeah, I think it'll hurt them offensively, but not defensively.
As long as Markstrom doesn't get it, knock on wood.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're miracle from Florida. Yeah, me and you both. I need. 2. Oh, it's 5-2 now. At least I cashed my over 6.5, but that's a loser on the puck line there for Florida.
I'm so glad I stayed off that game.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm marking these because I tracked my bets over on BetStamp. So I'm going to be marking Florida puck line a loser, and the over 6.5 is a winner. Over 6.5 was a play I put up on the Picks and Parlays website. So at least that one cashed. That was nice. It looks like a couple other college basketball stuff is cashing for me as well. So that's also nice. But which brings us to our second team here. And this is a little bit of a connection here between these two teams that we've talked about. The Calgary Flames, who played the Carolina Hurricanes a couple days ago, and now Carolina is stuck with some COVID issues as well. Their game against your Minnesota Wild was postponed, and I was really upset with that. They had 6 players test positive, a couple bigger names as well. I did get the Wild at -120. I know you got them at what -120, -125 as well. Mm-hmm. They closed around -150 when the game was postponed. Very frustrating that there. Because you know that line's not going to be the same. Or if it is, it's because Aho and Jarvis will be back. But yeah, they had Jarvis, Aho initially test positive. And then they added 4 more to that list with Jordan Staal, Andrei Svechnikov, Ian Cole, and Steven Lorentz. I just don't know how this Hurricanes team is going to play. I think they'll be okay once they get Aho and Svechnikov and Staal back. Jarvis has looked like a really good rookie, someone that could be considered in the Calder Trophy conversation potentially at the end of the year, maybe a top 5 candidate for that. Obviously, I have one. I'm plugging my player futures again. I have one on the bottom there for the Calder Trophy scrolling across the screen. I really like the Ducks this year, so I think Trevor Zegras is someone that is going to win the Calder Trophy at +275. All those are half-unit plays, by the way. And those are basically correlated with teams I really like and players I really like as well. But yeah, talking about Carolina here, I think they're going to have their next couple games postponed. And Jarvis and Aho will not be available for the next 14 days because they have to stay in Canada for 14 days. But the team is looking into a private medical flight so they can return to the United States. The Canucks have lent the equipment for the hotel rooms. I'm reading I was reading an ESPN article about this here. So far, this article is written on at 2:51 today. 23 players were added to the COVID protocol in the NHL, and that's I think before we got some other news. So a lot of COVID hitting here. So basically to sum everything up with COVID is tread lightly maybe a little bit. I know I love to bet my plays a day and a half in advance. I may slow down on that a little bit if COVID issues have been lingering on some teams and stuff like that. Maybe wait to see who's going to play in these games. So that's really what I got to say about that. Anything you want to mention on with COVID situations here?
No, you really got to it all. It's just it seems to be spreading a lot, and there's different rumors going on about bubbles and other kinds of things. But I think the Olympics should definitely be a no-no.
Absolutely.
I think the NHL is going to have to reschedule some of these games, And I totally think give the players like a week off, and then the rest of the time, even if the games are scattered a bit, get some games in, and just to scrap the Olympics, because it's not a good time right now with COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
Players could get stuck there for 2 weeks.
And then next thing you know,
weeks.
Next thing you know, they're having to stay in these countries, and that's not going to be helpful if you are Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers need you down the stretch, or if you're an Alex Ovechkin, or if you're someone on a playoff team. Yeah, that's not going to be a good thing. Currently, these odds are not on my book, but if they were to say NHL players are not going to the Olympics, there you go. You bet the ROC to win the goal at plus 425 now, because if the NHL players are not going to the Olympics, that's going to dramatically change the look of United States and Canada, the two big favorites. And I don't think with all the Russian leagues overseas, or all the Russian hockey leagues, they'll be able to field a pretty decent roster. And even if players do go to the Olympics, ROC has the best goaltending by far. Their third string is going to be Bobrovsky behind Shesterkin and Vasilevsky. So,
they would be allowed to play
if NHL players.
Okay, yeah.
But if they don't, Russia can field a roster better than I think anybody in the world when it comes to that. So that's a little tidbit there. If you guys are looking to make a futures bet, predicting that no NHL players go to Beijing this year. But we'll turn this to a little bit of a positive note here. We're going to talk about a couple teams. One being the one of the jersey I'm rocking right now, and a team I've been backing the last few games and making some money with. It's these knuckleheads from Vancouver here. And since they fired their head coach, they're 4-0. They're going to be playing in about 45 minutes. I bet them tonight as well. They're around a minus 140, minus 145. I got them around minus 133. What is your thoughts on the Vancouver Canucks right now?
I've been on them every single game since the coaching change. As a huge Wild fan, I obviously know Bruce Boudreau. Obviously, he coached the Wild for 3 years or so. So I am quite used to him, and he is a very good coach. He was fired because there was a lot of locker room issues with the Wild that wasn't really being put out in public. So I don't necessarily think it was his fault. He's not the best coach in the playoffs, but we're not in the playoffs right now. We're in the regular season, and he is a very good coach in the regular season. So I'm not surprised at all that he's gone to Vancouver and they've responded. The first thing he did was go to Brock Besser and say, "Hey man, you got to shoot the puck more." And now, Besser was on a 12-game goal drought or something, where he hadn't scored in a whole bunch of games. And now he has 4 goals in the 4 games, or 3 goals or something like that. So yeah, so Bruce is a very good coach, and I think it was a good hire for Vancouver.
Yeah, I've definitely seen they have responded much better. They've been winning a few games in overtime as well, but they've been cashing the tickets nevertheless. And I'm right back on them tonight, and I don't think I'm going to stop until they lose a game. So, by the way, a little score update: the Flyers are now up 6-1 on the Devils. So that's a shredded ticket right there. For me, it was a shredded ticket heading into the third period. But
Leafs were on the power play, but now Edmonton took a penalty, so it's 4-4.
Gotcha. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's any other score updates to look at. None at the moment. So another team that is playing right now that we need to keep our eye out for. And this is a team I was a little higher on heading into the season, I think that they could have been a fringe playoff team. Obviously, I feel like Ottawa has had a similar situation to the Isles a little bit here, just tough luck to start the year, COVID issues and stuff like that. I think Ottawa's a decent team. They've beaten some decent teams lately as well. Are we looking to maybe say that Ottawa's a bet on team right now?
I think so. Like they're 5-0-1 in their last. 4-0-1 in their last 5, and they're up 6-2 right now. So most likely they're going to be 5-0-1.
Or do they score?
Yeah, it's 6-2. Penguins also scored, so it's 5-2 there.
Cool.
And we may have a goal in the Buffalo Winnipeg game and St. Louis Dallas, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, Ottawa has been playing very well lately, so it's something to look at. I've been kind of fading them, but they looked good against Tampa Bay, and people were saying, "Oh, that was just a flat spot for Tampa Bay," but now they're playing good in Florida, where everybody has trouble, and they're looking like they're going to be 5-0-1 in their last 6. So when you don't lose games in regulation and you're winning games, you're a team to look at for sure.
Absolutely. Their only loss in the last 6 games is going to be the New York Islanders at home, 5-3. They've beaten good teams. I mean,
so they did lose one in regulation. Okay.
Yeah, they lost in regulation there, but Carolina, they won 3-2 as plus 285 underdogs. Plus 177 underdogs, they win at home against Colorado. As plus 160 underdogs, they win in a shootout against New Jersey. As plus 150 underdogs, they win against Tampa Bay. And right now, they were what? They were big dogs in this game. I believe they were plus 235 in this game, and they're currently up 6-2. So yeah, this Senators team, and one thing I've noticed is Senators overs have been really good this season as well. So that was an interesting little tidbit there. Looking over the chat, what's good, Razor Sharp Picks? How you doing tonight? Welcome to Net Picks and Chill. And then we had one more topic that you wanted to go over there. If you want to send me over your what do you call it? Your spreadsheets for this one, I can project them up on the stream here. You wanted to bring up home road splits for teams. So
yeah, let me just put it here. I can put it all in one.
And yeah, I can get this up and projected if you want me to. And then we can go over these home run splits to look at. And you have a little chart here on goals for and goals against it at home and on the road. So
yeah, just a second. I'm just going to get sent to you now.
All good. Yeah, and then we can show off these charts a little bit.
Sorry. There we go. You should get it now.
Perfect. Here we go. And then I can share my screen, and then we can break down this a little bit to see if we can come up with some betting looks for some of these teams. So starting on off here, we're looking at road numbers right now, and we see the Flames here on number 1 on goals against, which is one thing that we did mention a little bit with this Flames team is they're going to be more of an under team, and that's just their style of hockey. And then they're also towards the bottom in goals scored on the road. So, I mean, oh, my bad. They're number 6 there. I didn't see them there. So,
yeah, they're very good road team.
Yeah, break down this chart a little bit.
That's basically what I did is I went on NHL.com and I decided because that's what I usually go on to and to look road and home, their goals for and goals against. But it was kind of hard to, like, you have to go into the stat section, and then you have to filter it, and then they just have it all listed, but it wasn't very easy to tell who was where. So for me, I have my spreadsheet where I have all the teams and their color codes, which I use for making my picks and stuff and research. So what I did is I just made a chart for roads, goals for and goals against, and home and against. And yeah, just to see which teams are better on the road, which teams score more, which teams score less, and I use that to help judge certain things, right? Like I'm heavy on the Leafs tonight because as you see, they're 7th in goals for on the road and 10th in goals, 9th in goals against. So that's very good. Edmonton is only 10th in goals for at home. And way down there at 25th in goals against. And then if you look at Colorado,
I was going to say super surprised for goals for. They're number one in the league, and they're number one at home and number one on the road.
But look at their goals. Look at their goals against it on the road. You can't even see it because it's not even. It's way down there. So yeah, there's definitely things to look at.
Colorado is a road team.
Well, they're a road over team.
Oh yeah, these are goals against.
Their 30th, their goals against is really bad on the road, and they're a really good goal scoring. So they're definitely a road over team. And then if you look at it, someone like Dallas, they're not very good in goals for.
Not very good on the road, but if you look, they're a much better team at home. And you'll notice this with some teams. Florida's another one that I saw here. They're number 3 in goals for at home, and they're number 13 in goals against at home. But but on the road, they don't give up many goals on the road. But this is a team that I believe struggles a little bit compared to 2.83 goals scored per game on the road compared to when they're at home. It's a drastic difference. It's a 1.57 difference here.
Another team is Columbus.
Columbus is another one with goals allowed, I've noticed. The Columbus overs on the road. That's why I would also lean towards the team total over with Vancouver tonight. Even though they're not a huge scoring team.
Vancouver had a horrible start at home. Vancouver had a horrible start. So their stats you have to kind of look at a little bit. Like you have to look at it, but you have to remember how horrible start they had.
Yeah, Columbus is just a terrible road team, though.
Yeah,
because they give up 4.08 goals per game on the road. So that's just something to keep an eye out for. And you tweeted this out. Have you tweeted this chart out on your Twitter?
No, I just sent it to certain people. I never.
Gotcha. I was going to say that. Then you guys can take a screenshot of this the screen if you guys want to have this chart. Obviously, this will not be up to date tomorrow because these numbers have to be adjusted. But this is something interesting to look at if you guys are looking to bet totals and stuff like that. Look for teams that give up goals on the road or at home, and look for teams that score goals. So like overs in Colorado road games are definitely something you should look for and stuff like that. And unders in Calgary games on the road because they only give up 2.06 on the road, but they do score 3.06 or 3.29. So using this chart can definitely help you spot some teams that definitely struggle in certain aspects on the road or at home. Maybe something that's
surprising is the Rangers. If you look at it, the Rangers aren't they don't score very much at home, but they score a lot more on the road.
Yeah, it also helps though that they are 2.58 goals allowed. So maybe home game unders for New York Rangers could be interesting here. They don't score many goals, 2.75 per game at home, but they don't give up many goals at 2.58 here at home. So this is a team you may target target unders. Oh, it must have clicked off here.
Sadly, Colorado just scored.
Oh, there we go.
And,
Colorado just scored.
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep calm now, but I have the Los Angeles Tampa Bay draw, and there's 1:25 left to go.
Oh, good luck on that one.
This is tough times.
When you have a draw. Exactly. Yeah. We'll live sweat this one out, and then we'll say goodbyes to the stream here. We usually go for around 20-30 minutes here. Okay. Tim did come into the chat saying NBA is better than NHL. I blocked him for 5 minutes. We don't take that here. We don't take lying here. We stay truthful, and we know that hockey is obviously better than the NBA. Because I don't know about you, but I have yet to hear a hockey player sit out for load management. So we don't have our players be soft like that.
Hockey players have their faces bleeding all over the place, and then they're back in 10 minutes or less.
Yeah,
and hockey players are like, they put up with a lot.
And Melissa in the chat just said, Terry, you're about to get this draw. Don't jinx them. Don't jinx them. Why would you say that? That's not cool.
Not funny. Says dot.
That's one of Tim's side accounts.
Oh, let's see.
But yeah, how much time is left in that Tampa Bay
59,
game?
58, 57, 56.
Ooh, we're just
See, the issue, draws are great because you can bet less on them and you pay a lot if you hit them. But the issue with draws is you always have to go through this last few minutes where a goal would kill you. And a lot of the times in the last, like, it's rough.
I've seen last second goals. Like if you had the draw in that Isles Nashville game the other night, rip to you. I apologize there. 12 seconds left and they scored the goal. Yeah, I just
There's also a game with Minnesota earlier against Anaheim this season.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I was on Anaheim that night. At a very healthy plus price tag. Should have just taken them plus the goal and a half, and they would have hit. But I remember that game. That was early in the season, and Stolars looked really good in net that night.
18 seconds, 15, 14.
Oh, you're way ahead of me then.
12.
I see 29, 28.
Oh, it's suspended with 7-6. It's suspended, but I.
Oh, that's right. Tim had the draw on the Nashville Islander game. Yeah, that was a huge rip in the chat there.
Time has run out, but I don't know for sure. Oh, it says overtime. Perfect. I did it.
There you go. Cash the draw there, and that's a good way to end the stream. What was that draw? That was +3.
That one was plus 320.
320. Hell yeah. Good cash.
Half unit on that. 325.
325, half unit place. So you gained what, 1.25? No.
I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to look at my app.
1.87 units, I want to know. That may sound right. But anyway, this has been another edition of Net Picks and Chill from Picks and Parlays. My name is Nicholas Earl. I was joined here for his Picks and Parlays debut, Terry Edelman. We hope to have you on another one of these shows for Net Picks and Chill. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. We want to thank you guys, as always, for watching, and good luck with everything tonight.
See you guys.